Hey guys, Crusher045 here again. Uh, Obviously, if you've watched last episode, we did not win our primary election, and so therefore we are now jobless, and the only job we can run for is president. And since we're not old enough, we just started politics, we're still 18. Not a good idea, especially since we have very little political experience. So, this is a good time to make a video about what to do in the political off-season. Well, so what can we do in this time to make sure that, I guess, one, we don't get bored of the game, and two, that we can stay on track of what's happening around the country. So what I'm going to do here is basically show you around a couple of different things that are important that I can show off now because we've essentially got a good moment to talk about it. Sorry about that, I was adjusting my mouse sensitivity. We've already seen all of this, but if we go to elections, you can see these are all the different citywide elections. Statewide will be next year, and so will federal elections. And so essentially, actually, yes, some state elections will be next year, but like the Senate, state house for our district will be, and then governor race will be not next year, but the year, 2 years after. Even so, the reason I'm showing this is because essentially these are the races we just saw, and we're going to see how things change. If we go into current city elections, you can see Democrats have the school board, the city council, and we are the mayor. So I want to see how things change if they change. So what we're going to do, like I said, is just fast forward a little bit through the weeks. There's a lot of time that you see here that it's just clicking next turn because not a lot's happening. We can go ahead and I'll show you what a primary looks like. Each candidate from the Democratic platform will give their position on an issue. So they're talking about their campaign platform. So she wants to do these 3 things. This guy wants to do these 3. I love the last ones when they happen like this, where it's like, I don't think Eric even tried to come up with a decent platform. It's just, they're hilarious to me because they kind of are reminiscent of like 2016. My favorite I've ever seen, and I don't know if we're going to see one here or not, is basically, the next term will be the Republican one. We'll see if it comes out. Basically, it was like a Republican candidate for president wanted to accuse his opponents of being part of the deep state, but it's hilarious that you can even they can even do that. I just thought it was funny. See if it happens this time or not. No, not this one. Yeah, there we go. This is a funny one. If we ask kindly, I believe the aliens will help us in our efforts. Why? Why is he talking about aliens? You know, and that's probably because he is crazy and absent-minded. That's probably why. I don't think he's got a good chance, but it's always funny if he does end up winning the primary. See what happens. He is arrogant. That explains it. They try to the developers tried to frame these according to what the different candidates sound like. Unfortunately, and I hope he adds this in the future, your candidate can't have options like this. You just get like 4 total choices. Like one's compromise, one's party line, voting, one's your particular positions, and things like that. So there's just different options, but you don't get to read it like this. It's kind of unfortunate to me. All right, so we're at week 38. They're still going to have primaries. We don't have to watch every single one. They're basically the same. They just have different issues that pop up. It's going to be Thanksgiving parade, so we're going to go ahead and attend it. And when you do, it just gives you a nice little dialogue about how, hey, it's Thanksgiving. If you are mayor, it'll give you like a thing that says like, oh, you saw people celebrating you because you have a float that says your name on it, like, oh, mayor so-and-so. And then if you're president, same similar thing. It's just cool to do. It just adds a little bit of something extra to see happen. There will be more events that happen in the near future, which will give you a chance to be in politics without being in politics, or even if you're in office, more opportunities to expand your name recognition and your popularity and approval rating. That will come soon, but it has not happened yet. And even in the beta, it's just new election mechanics, which I'm very eager to try out, but I don't want to do it in this series for very obvious reasons. I may, after trying out the series and getting through basically a nice run, I may end up taking our character that we have and doing another series with the new mechanics to see how things change. maybe doing a different state too, because Kansas will probably get a little bit boring after a while for the videos. So yeah, the year is now over. It will tell you what elections are coming up in the next year. These are the ones that are going to happen. I think for us, and this is something I'm thinking about, I might do a committee chair and show you what a committee chair looks like so we can help others win elections, but we ourselves are not going to actually run for an office. I might still run for state house just in case. I'll think about it. It's possible I'll do either one. I'm not entirely sure which one's better. And it'll tell you who's retiring as well, but I don't think anyone's retiring. These are all the new laws that went into effect over the last year, because the new year has just begun. It's 2016. Our name recognition goes down because we haven't been in politics, so people kind of forget who we are. Our approval rating stays the same because we haven't done anything. And yeah, you can see that funding for drug courts was passed. It decreased the prison length for drug criminals in the city. State minimum wage went up to $8. Unemployment benefits went down. And you can see all of this if you'd like to. Basically, the other thing I wanted to do in this video is to show the metrics, because now there's more data filled in. So our city has grown by about 3,000 people. And these numbers don't change unless you adjust them. People will, as new people are born in the city or move to the city, it just adjusts the total to fit this percentage ratio. I hope there's one day going to be more like vibrant demographics that do change with time. So like if Democrats do absolutely horrible, more Republicans will be in the system, or independents, and then if Republicans do horrible, or vice versa. I just think that'd be kind of a cool system. Academics have done worse in the city. Poverty's about the same. It's actually gotten a little bit better. The economy's doing okay. Taxes. The budget's important. This is the one I really want to look at because a lot of these, don't matter that much. You can see crime and police officers went up just a little bit. Road quality is getting better. Congestion is about the same. And we are spending slightly less than we have or making. So that's good. Or at least we're not over budget. In the state, we're doing really well. The Republican-run state seems to have cut a bunch of taxes and have done really good for the state. But the state is a very Republican state. We have a chance of winning it because of the independent voters, but Republicans have a better chance of holding the state because they're almost 50% of the state. It's a very red state. Education's doing worse. Poverty's doing better. Just kind of wanted to show all these different things off. And of course, typical as it is in the United States, the expenditure went down, revenue went up. That's good to see, but we're still a huge budget deficit with huge amounts of debt. I've had games where I've had my candidate be president for 2 terms, and in those 2 terms, debt went down a lot. You see giant spikes during that president's campaign, or during their term, I should say, the 2 terms. As soon as I left office, though, the very, very next candidate who won, it shot back up again, and I was very mad because I'd spent all that time lowering the budget and making sure that we had money. It didn't mean anything. It's really hard to keep a budget because people get really mad when their taxes go up. People get really mad when they lose benefits, so you have to be able to be very balanced with it. It's very hard to do. Very, very hard to do. But that's it for this video. I just wanted to show off what an off-season looks like, and in the next video, we will go ahead and I think do the party chair. I'll do a committee chair. I think it's just a better option for this series because it will let me show, it will let me make money, but also help Democrats do better. So when we run for the city elections next time, we'll have a better chance. And it'll give us our political points, which are very, very helpful. So yeah, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and thank you as always for supporting the channel.